Intrigued by the diversity of cultural perspectives, I recently heard a charming story from my Eastern colleague, which highlighted a universal constant: the love within a family. Here is his tale, adapted for a Western audience. "I've decided, when I grow up, I'm going to marry Daddy," my daughter suddenly declared, leaping from her chair in the middle of our conversation. This outburst stemmed from a recent cold she had, marked by severe coughing. It wasn't a major concern initially, but given the proximity of a pandemic case to her school, it understandably worried her father greatly. He immediately took leave from work, even using his precious saved-up leave days, and rushed her to the hospital for a checkup. Only after confirming she was fine did he breathe a sigh of relief. Since he had already taken the day off and taking her to school with a cough seemed inadvisable, he decided to take her to the beach instead. They spent a delightful day eating tasty food, flying kites, and building sandcastles. My daughter felt so secure and comforted, nestled against her father's back, realizing that, in her eyes, he was far braver and more admirable than any of her kindergarten peers. This memory spilled into my own, taking me back to my elementary school days during a flu epidemic. The atmosphere was fraught with fear. One night, I had an allergic reaction and coughed a few times. Without a second thought, my father scooped me up, took me on his bike, and rushed me to the emergency room. In those times, such an act was considered incredibly risky, with TV news bombarding us with almost apocalyptic scenes. Experts warned of a world where seeing dead bodies on the streets wouldn't be surprising. The internet wasn't as accessible then, and many were fleeing to the countryside for safety. My brave return home, however, earned my father a stern reprimand from my mother. "I cough too, why aren't you worried about me? I even sleep beside you." "Oh, I didn't notice," my father naively replied. "I was just worried about our daughter. She's my only precious girl." Then, realizing his mistake, he added hastily, I mean, my beloved wife, you're also one and only." It was too late, though. This mishap cost him thousands on a pair of earrings to appease my mother. Looking sorrowfully at his wallet, he couldn't fathom the jealousy women have, even towards their own daughters. "What did you just say?" my mother asked sharply. I said, "My dear wife, you look beautiful with these earrings." Worth it, absolutely worth it. Fast forward several years, and now it was my turn. One morning, a couple of coughs from me and my husband immediately pushed me back into bed. "Stay here, I'll take our daughter out, don't want to risk infecting her." It's like karma, I thought, what goes around comes around. Nevertheless, I felt it was important to teach my daughter that she couldn't marry her father. I explained that one day she would meet her own Prince Charming. Unconvinced, she retorted, "Who could be better than Daddy? The boys in my class are so immature. They probably can't even find their socks without calling for their moms. A real partner should be someone who truly loves you and whom you can lean on." I was speechless and regretted giving her the iPad too early. Who knows what they watch these days? Changing tactics. I tried reasoning with her about the nature of love and maturity, but she was adamant. "I always give Daddy the first bite of my ice cream," she argued. "I don't even lick the cream from Oreos because Daddy loves it. I even pretend I'm full just to give him the last chicken leg." Isn't that true love? Well, I had to admit, it was love. "Do you know why daddies are so fond of their daughters?" my husband asked me, seeing my jealousy. Laughing, he came over and comforted me, "Because she reminds me of you when you were little. Being part of these moments, which I missed before meeting you, feels like being your childhood sweetheart, loving every stage of you." My love for her stems from her being your daughter, silly. And so, I conceded.